All right, next up, we're starting to move into the 80s. So we're going to kind of glaze over the 70s. 70s, a lot of rock. And then also, um, disco was huge in the 70s. So we're going to move into hip hop, right? So hip hop actually starts off, kind of as a fusion of things, right? And some of the early hip hop artists, they were, sampling, right? And what are they going to sample from? They're going to sample from music that was already established, right? So a lot of early hip hop is going to be things like, samples of disco or jazz or funk, things like James Brown and all sorts of influences, things with really good, strong bass lines, right? Because that's really what it's all about. And then the way that freestyle rapping and in hip hop also has a lot of its basis inside of poetry and jazz even as well. So the one we're going to listen to is Gangstar. And the song is The Words I Manifest. And this actually is one of the earliest rap songs that uses a jazz influence beat. So the jazz song that's back in the background is a song called Night in Tunisia, which is a Dizzy Gillespie song. He's a trumpet player. And so it'll be kind of looping back in that background as a part of it. So it kind of makes that connection between those two. And during that time of you know, the hip hop becoming kind of mainstream culture during the 80s, um, there's also kind of this intersection. And the one that probably makes it the most would be Glennied Friedman. So if we look down here, Glennied Friedman's kind of down here in the middle. So we're going to start to look at action sports. But Glennied Friedman in the 80s was shooting pictures of like skateboarding, right? Which also Jay Grant Britton was a local photographer here from Encinitas, and he only went to Palomar really for his education, and started taking pictures of skateboarding as well. But Glennied Friedman, he has this intersection between the skate culture and then also rap music and kind of punk rock, because all those things kind of happened in that mid to early 80s. And so some of his pictures are going to be people, like those early skaters like Tony Alva, but then also people like Run DMC and Beastie Boys, and also people like Minor Threat and Black Flag. So it's really kind of this mashup of all of those things. So as we look through there, keep him in mind. Then there's also some rock climbing and surfing. People like Clark Little, and then some early established sports photographers that photograph people like Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali and those sort of things. Kind of a mix of action and portraits. So while we listen to The Words I Manifest, kind of go through those photographers, add them to your website. Also think about kind of the way that politics mix into there. So like you'll notice he's kind of dressed like Malcolm X, talking about Black Power, and also the political aspects of that. Same with Bob Dylan and other Woody Guthrie. All of those were trying to raise social awareness through their music, and so kind of keep that in the back of your mind as well.